We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strict.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. A play fake, now Fields to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
It's a gain of 34. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago. Throwing on second down. Watson buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll try the air down with Watson. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And it's fielded at the 34. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On second down, they'll run with White. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now here's Fields on the sneak, and he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside, nowhere to go on the quarterback sneak. Now it's going to bring up 4th down.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 4th down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. Down the right sideline. Touchdown!
Hey, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken in at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Fields now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down. Looked like he might have overcompensated there for being on the right hash because you've got to make sure you get the angle right. But that time he started it too far left and winds up hooking it way too far.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. They'll try the middle with Cook. Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
3rd and 2, Watson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. From the red zone now, Watson under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Darius Slayton, 31 yards. And the Vikings get a late score here, the final minute of the first half. Joseph on for the extra point. And this is no good as well. He's missed twice now, and that's the difference in this ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Fields flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields.
He'll get that complete to his tight end commit.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway.
Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Fields on first down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook.
And a short pickup to about the 25.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Here's Madison getting it again on second.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
And on 4th down, it's the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
First down, here's White. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
He's got a man, complete. A huge play there for Chicago. 59 yards.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. That ball caught by Slayton. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. On first down, it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. The Vikings on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. Now Watson.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one. Not that one.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are right back in this football game. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. That one goes for 24 yards. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson lets it fly for Thielen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 32 yards. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Oh, good-looking return set up here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll go up the middle with White. 61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game, with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
To throw is Fields. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. Out of the gun, Fields. And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Called that a very strong gain of 24. Now here's Fields on the sneak. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Fields scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Bears will add to their fourth quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Watson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
On fourth down, Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. They go with White on the counter. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
All right, just go ahead and say it with me. That was a
mistake,
yes,
for sure.
Without a doubt, because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball, and it did.
Touchdown, Chicago! Chase Claypool, 30 yards. And the Bears add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and it was fair to look back and say the fourth down was a moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend in that situation, and they got it done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Watson.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson.
Now Watson.
And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
It's complete, and he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least 1 play. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Chicago,
they do get 1 final win, but it finishes off a 5-12 campaign.
And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the